Let's pack for Alaska.
Hey everyone, Andy and Jenna here from A Couple Travelers, coming to you with another video about our Alaskan cruise from aboard Ovation of the Seas.
Yes, today we're actually going to do a packing video because packing for a cruise is complicated, but packing for an Alaskan cruise is double the amount of complicated.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to go category by category, telling you what we packed, if there's anything we'd recommend leaving at home, if there's anything we wished we had that we didn't pack, and we'll take it from there. First, it is vacation. We're still drinking. Cheers. Gotta make use of the deluxe beverage package, am I right?
You're right.
So as I mentioned, we're gonna go category by category to go through, excuse all of my scribbled notes on this, to go through what we packed for our cruise. It's actually something I do as a travel agent to send this to my clients who are going on a cruise so they know exactly what to bring with them. So I do, no matter where you're going, I always include a suggested packing list. I'm actually a travel agent that specializes in sandals and beaches vacations, Walt Disney World, Universal, Royal Caribbean, of course, Virgin Voyages, and many people don't know this, but it's actually completely free to work with a travel agent. We are compensated by the specific vendor, so it doesn't cost you anything to work with us, and then you have somebody who has great tips and knowledge to share with you and does things like including a suggested packing list so you don't leave anything at home. So if you're interested in learning more, or if you want to receive a free vacation quote, my email address is listed in the video description below. But enough about that, let's jump into the actual packing for an Alaskan cruise. So the first category we're going to go through is kind of Alaska specific essentials that you'll need. Basically the key to Alaska is the weather range is very diverse. It's typical for 40 degrees to 60 degrees and rain. It rains like 300 days out of the year. So the key to Alaska is layers and waterproof items. So the very first thing that you're going to need for an Alaskan cruise is a waterproof coat. And I went more with a raincoat rather than a thick winter coat because, again, the key is layers. So I wanted something lighter that it can fit a lot of layers underneath. And this one is from North Face and Amazon specifically. And I will put a link in the video description to our Amazon storefront where this and many of the items that we're sharing will be linked if you want to check those out. Next is waterproof shoes. So these are actually Skechers, so they're quite comfortable, but they are just, you know, kind of like a Sperry type shoe, completely waterproof, decently comfortable to walk in, and they're not very heavy. I actually only ended up wearing these in Ketchikan because our trip, which will be very different from your trip, was 70 and sunny the entire time we were in Alaska, which all of the locals were like, this never happens, this never happens, this never happens. I actually went out in Seattle before the cruise to go buy more t-shirts because this is so outside the norm, but waterproof shoes are a necessity.
But to Jenna's point, make sure you pack for a variety of scenarios, which is why you need things like the waterproof jacket and like the rain boots.
The next thing is thermal underwear. Not everybody is going to need this. I tend to run more cold, so I didn't do thermal pants underwear. I just did one layer underneath, so if it was ever really cold, I could put this under a sweatshirt or sweater and just have that extra layer because it could be as cold as 40 degrees. And when you're spending 8 hours outside on an excursion, you want to make sure you have a lot of options and are warm. Also, waterproof pants. These were, I think, about $20 on Amazon. And they're very thin, and I bought these with the purpose of if we're out on an excursion and it rains, that I don't need to go change. I can just put these over whatever I was wearing to keep my legs dry, because once you were, you know, if you're wearing jeans and then you get wet and you're outside for another 6 hours in the cold, you're gonna be pretty miserable. So this was definitely recommended by a lot of people. We didn't end up wearing it. But again, we had the exception, not the rule for Alaska weather. So waterproof everything. So this was my bag of like gloves, hats, scarves, all of that kind of thing. The gloves specifically that we got are waterproof, and they have the special fingers So you can still use your iPhone or phone in general while you're outside, because you don't want to be taking your glove off to use your phone to take a quick picture or whatever. So these were great. These are definitely linked on the Amazon storefront. Brought a pack of hand warmers with us as well. Again, 70 degrees for us, but if it was 40, we would have needed these 100%. I almost actually came back to the room to get them on the Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier morning, because you're up at 5 a.m., you're standing outside, which was absolutely stunning. That was the only day I was really cold, and that was just for a few hours in the morning, and then it was 70 by the time we got to Juneau. So this will be very handy for cold mornings like that. And then 3 other things specifically for Alaska that I would recommend. One is a poncho. We love these reusable ponchos that we got at Stop and Shop, if you have a local Stop and Shop grocery store by you. We have these, we use them in the theme parks all the time, so it's just, they're very light and easy to roll up and fit in a backpack. I would say either a poncho or an umbrella, whatever your preference is, but we liked to have options. And then binoculars. This was just a pair that we got on Amazon with a little strap. They're pretty small and lightweight, but it was great for, we have a balcony, so especially when we're going inside passage, where we're looking over to see if we could see any bears. Great for whale watching. We use this quite often, and I definitely recommend a pair. Royal does sell them on the ship. They always have like a little shop in the Esplanade and over by the pool areas where they were selling like big, nice binoculars. So I would say either bring some or be prepared to pay Royal for some, because you're gonna wanna see and be able to see far. Up next, we're going to talk about just clothing in general. And again, the key is layering. So I'm just going to list off what we had under our clothing column. So things like bras, underwear, socks, and then for top, some sort of variety of tank tops, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweaters, sweatshirts, any variety of clothing that you like to wear. For pants, I would suggest for an Alaskan cruise, at least one pair of shorts. The ship in and of itself tends to run on the warmer side. There were times, like even when we got on board in Seattle, we were like, it's really hot in here. I think they try to compensate for the cold outside by making it warm inside. So you might be warm just going around at night, so having some shorts is really good. But then capris, jeans, leggings, sweatpants, just a variety of different bottoms would be helpful.
Jenna tends to run cold. I tend to run warm. So I wore shorts most of the trip, especially considering the weather. Mm-hmm. Brought a couple pairs of jeans and a pair of joggers. Used them pretty much the joggers only, like this morning walking around the ship, but pretty much the other time I was in shorts, but was at least prepared for colder weather with jeans and the rainproof pants.
Yeah, and even though it was warm during the day, first thing, it's a little cooler, especially like going out on a balcony, so having the sweatpants would be very helpful. Royal Caribbean has 2 nights where people are encouraged to dress up. One night being formal night and the other night being dressed to success night. I will say on an Alaskan cruise, people tend to not dress up as much as they do on other like Caribbean cruises, for example. I think maybe 10 to 20% were like going all out for what we usually see.
Yeah, not many.
And I think it's because you're packing so much for Alaska. Like you would need, the clothes you're bringing take up more space because they're coats and they're scarves and just different than packing like shorts and bathing suits for a Caribbean cruise. So I think that's why people tend to just say, it's not for me. You can pack formal items if you'd like to participate and dress up for those, but Alaskan cruises in general tend to be a little bit more casual. Then of course you need pajamas, you need bathing suits. So the great thing about our ship, specifically Ovation of the Seas, is that it has the indoor solarium with pools and jacuzzis for adults, and then they also have an outdoor pool and jacuzzi section, and then another indoor pool and jacuzzi section for all ages. Even though you're going to Alaska where it's super cold, there's lots of opportunities to be in a controlled climate in a heated pool, so you're going to want to make sure to bring at least 1 bathing suit. We packed 3. That was overkill. 2 would have been great so that you can kind of rotate every other day. And then for shoes, again, gonna want to pack a variety. So I have all of the shoes that I brought with me. I did not end up wearing these. I brought these to wear with like a dress and a jean jacket at night. Never wore these, but the rest of the shoes I wore. So the waterproof shoes that I mentioned earlier, I brought 2 pairs of sneakers, 2 pairs of, or I guess 3 pairs of flip-flop sandal variety, and then a pair of slippers. Those are like super lightweight slippers. Were wonderful for the balcony, especially in the morning where you don't want like your cold bare feet on the balcony floor. So that was really, like, I was glad I packed those. And then sunglasses I have under clothing, which
Accessories.
Accessories, yes. I brought 3 pairs. I think you brought 2 pairs. Definitely need sunglasses because everything is extra bright.
Yeah.
With all the waters. And since you were packing, at least for us, we brought a lot more things than we would on a typical Caribbean cruise. We invested in packing cubes.
These are great.
These are great. These are also linked in the Amazon storefront, but these are specifically compression packing cubes. So I do have one open here so you can kind of check it out. I just have some pants and socks in here, but it is thick, and you put your items inside and you zip it up, and then there's another zipper to compress. This one is not full, but just to give you an idea, and it makes it smaller. So the set we got, specifically, I have one and Andy has one. It had 2 large, 1 small, and then it had this little one to put like accessories, chargers in, and I had 2 extra small, which was great for like underwear. And then the best part is it also came with a laundry bag, which has been super helpful for like keeping like dirty underwear away. So it's a decent sized bag, and then it clips to keep it closed. So this has really helped us pack more and make it a little bit more condensed. This whole packing cube set is actually meant to fit in a carry-on luggage.
Just on the topic of shoes, I did bring just a pair of slip-on boat shoes, 2 pairs of sneakers, one over there, one over here, and then a pair of flip-flops, which I am most often in flip-flops. Also in my check bag is a pair of waterproof rain boots that we didn't end up using, but still packed them again just in case.
Do not watch this video and think that you're gonna have this weather, because again, it was just so out of the norm. So if you take nothing away from this video, take away that you need rainproof, waterproof, everything.
Just be prepared for a variety of weather scenarios.
Exactly.
On your vacation.
So the next category is miscellaneous items that we'll go through. First and foremost, passports. We needed to show them to get on the ship. We needed them specifically in Skagway for our excursion since it went into Canada. And then we need them today, which is our Victoria, British Columbia stop, since again, we're going into Canada. So we needed passports, we needed our government issued IDs. I always recommend you have insurance cards on you. Make sure you have all of your travel confirmations, your booking confirmations for the trip and any excursions that you have. We always pack face masks ever since 2020, and medication. I would highly recommend that anything important like those items be in the bag that you physically use to walk onto the ship. Make sure you have headphones, especially if you're flying, so you can watch movies on the plane, camera, GoPro, anything like that, your phone. Alaska's beautiful. This is the first cruise where we've just seen like everybody has a nice camera. That's the trip where people are taking, wildlife photos and using more than just their iPhone. So if you have a nice camera, definitely plan to bring it with you.
And then all the associated batteries and chargers and SD cards and things like that.
Yep, that was next on the list. All of your chargers for those items and a portable charger. Make sure you have at least one, because you're out on these excursions. Many of them are 6 or 7 hours, and you're using your phone a lot, especially to take photos and videos. So having a portable charger so you can charge when you're away from the ship is really important. Make sure you have a lot of cash. We brought about $300 to tip all of our excursion representatives. We went on 4 separate excursions, and some of them had multiple sections where it's like we tipped the whale watching people and then we went over to the Mendenhall Glacier and we tipped that driver. And so just make sure you have a lot of cash on you and have your credit cards, and don't forget, if you need to call your credit card company to let them know you're traveling, do so before you travel as well. Bring a book. I brought 2 books. I'm only on book number 1 still, but it's just because there's been so much to see. But now that like the last day or so has been like a sea day, so that's when I finally cracked open the book. But it's really nice to sit on the balcony and read, go to the solarium and read. Now in many cruise rooms, there's some American outlets and then there's some European outlets. So knowing we have a lot of things to charge between our phones and our cameras and our GoPros and all of that, we always bring a European adapter as well so we can get more plugs out of that. You can definitely pick it up on Amazon, and if you're worried, because cruises have rules about what can and cannot be brought on the ship, if you go to Amazon, you can get one that is cruise ship approved.
Basically, the rule of thumb is it cannot have a surge protector in it.
So this is one of the ones that we have.
Tesson makes a lot of really good ones. We'll link these in the description, but they have them for European. We have a set of standard American adapters as well. So without the European plug, it'll just go into your traditional American outlet, but with all these additional plugs and USBs on it. We also have just a pretty standard electrical outlet to multiple USB plugs to charge our phones by the bedside table.
And then a couple of other things while we're over in this area, and sorry if you can see the mess because we're packing since we get off the ship tomorrow. You may not know this, but cruise walls are magnets made of metal. So we bought these hooks on Amazon. These are only really meant for lightweight items. So we use it to hang our SeaPass cards by the door so that we see them on the way out and take them with us. But you can hang hats, like that kind of thing. They also sell ones that are more heavy duty if you want to hang clothing or if you want to hang like your toiletry organizer or whatnot. But magnetic hooks are a great idea. In addition, lanyards. So you need your SeaPass card for everything to get on and off the ship. It's our drink package. So whenever we order a drink, we give them our SeaPass card. So we bought these on the ship, but you can always buy them in advance before you get here. And then the great thing is, we didn't know this until we saw someone doing it, but you wear the lanyard, you order a drink, you can just give them this instead of giving them the whole thing, and then when you get it back, you just clip it back on. One other miscellaneous cruise item is cruise luggage tag holders. So you have them right here. These are ones that fit Royal Caribbean's luggage tags. Specifically, we got them on Amazon. You need these to be able to board the ship. You leave your luggage at the cruise port, and this is how they find the way to your room.
Well, yeah, at the curbside.
At the curbs, yeah, exactly. So normally the instructions say to print this out and to staple it, but that very easily can get ripped off, and then that's how it leads to lost luggage, basically. I believe they came in a 6-pack. We used 4 of them for all of our big luggage that we had them bring on the ship. But then I recommend having a backpack with anything important in it, since you may not get your luggage until as late as 8 p.m. We got ours around 4:30, so we were already starting to kind of get settled in the room and get ready for the night. So anything that you would want if you want to go to the pool on the first day, make sure you have your bathing suits, make sure you have your passports, all your IDs, confirmations that you need, any medicine that you need, anything super important, have on you as you board the ship. Last and final section is toiletries. I like to have mine in a foldable thing that I can hang on the hook on the bathroom door to have everything there with me. So a lot of this is basic stuff, but toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, deodorant, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, face wash, razors, shaving cream. It's always good to travel with Advil, Tylenol. We tend to also pack, just in case, like a Dayquil, NyQuil, Band-Aids, etc. Everything you need for your hair, hairbrush. I bring a straightener and a curling iron, eye care products, feminine products. I of course have a specific makeup bag. Also important for cruises in general is seasick medication. So Dramamine, Bonine. I'd recommend having a non-drowsy version for daytime and a drowsy version for nighttime. Biodegradable sunscreen is next on this list, and that was something on all of the excursions. It was listed under the what to bring. So besides bringing your passports or IDs, your confirmation, hat, sunglasses, it said biodegradable sunscreen specifically. So we did buy a small tube of that, and I brought face specific sunscreen as well. Normally I'd recommend aloe vera as well for a cruise. I don't think you need one for Alaska specifically. And we bring a bottle of liquid hand soap as well, because the soap that's provided in the bathroom is a bar, and you wash your hands so many times on cruises especially. So we just brought this. We had it shipped to our Seattle hotel so that we didn't have to fly with it, and then packed it in our bag and brought it on board. We get off the ship tomorrow and it is almost gone. So a lot easier to have this than to use the bar soap that's provided. Then we have bug spray. We did pack bug spray, but I did not bring it on the excursion, which was the only time we felt we needed the bug spray. So do yourself a favor, pack a small thing of bug spray, put it in your bag that you're taking on and off the ship for excursions, especially if you're doing things out in the wilderness. We both walked away with like 5 bug bites from our day in Skagway, so don't forget that one. Then we have things like Q-tips, hand sanitizer, always have that on you, perfume, cologne, band-aids, heartburn medication, and then wrinkle spray. So you may not know this, but there are no irons or anything provided in a cruise ship room because it's a fire hazard, so it's not like a typical hotel. So if you are worried about your clothes being wrinkled, they sell, I have it here with a couple things. This one's from Downey, wrinkle release spray. This is very helpful on cruises in general. And that is it, we're at the end of the list. Now, in terms of anything that I wish I brought, I'm happy to say there wasn't anything that I wish I had that I didn't think to pack. And hopefully this video will help you know what to pack as well, so that you don't feel like you were missing out or wish you brought something with you. I think we had a good variety and a lot of just in case items, which I feel like when we don't pack those things, those are the trips that we need them. So I'd rather be safe than sorry and have those things. In terms of anything that I wish I left at home and didn't bother to pack, I feel like a lot of the wintry things we didn't need, but I feel like on any other Alaskan cruise, you do need them. So the group who sailed the week before us and were getting off the ship as we're getting on, they had cold, wet weather the entire week. And even just the day after we left Skagway, which was 70 and sunny, the next day was in the 50s and rainy. So our cruise was just so lucky. It felt like we packed a lot of unnecessary things, but any other cruise, you're gonna need those. Hopefully that's helpful in giving you a very bird's eye view of what we packed. My last and final piece of advice is to leave room for souvenirs in your suitcase. We did an initial pack and then realized my suitcase was pretty full to the brim. So I went through everything again and got rid of some stuff to make sure there was room, because the best part of going away is getting those awesome souvenirs that you want to take home with you to remember the trip. So don't forget to leave room for souvenirs. Here's a little look of the view from our balcony, since we are on our way to Victoria, BC right now. And it's finally clearing up a little bit. It's stunning.
Like Jenna said, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you are interested in more Royal Caribbean content, we will link other videos down below from this Alaska cruise, and we are also booked on the inaugural sailing for Icon of the Seas this coming January 2024. It is a brand new class of ship for Royal Caribbean. It will be the largest cruise ship in the world when it comes out, so we are very excited for that. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those videos and you want a first-hand look at what this awesome cruise ship has in store for cruise passengers around the world. So that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on social media at A Couple Travelers.
And until next time, keep traveling.